Hey guys, I'm hanging around a playground, which is not a very politically correct thing to do for a man of my age, but I do enjoy the park. I do enjoy this weather. I had a moment of weakness recently where I was on Facebook, and I try and avoid sitting there and clicking through endless feeds and getting distracted and losing valuable time that I could otherwise be spending creating stuff. But there was a post that popped up. You might have come across it. I think it went viral. It was a shared post about this guy who had posted up, I think, like 360 photos that documented the process of him creating this unbelievable costume. It was a Godzilla costume, and it was for I think some kind of an event, like a Comic-Con type thing. But the guy, it starts off and you're scrolling through every image, and you think it's going to be over by like 10 images. Usually when you see someone's Facebook posts, it doesn't usually go on for so long, but this was just like every tiny little detail, every step of the way of this guy's project, from painting the nails of the toes to the scales on the feet, all the way up to the structure of the body and the tiny little details of the tongue and the roof of the mouth of the Godzilla and the teeth and the eyes and the amount of effort this guy put in over who knows how long. But 360 images, each image was a sort of masterpiece in and of itself, showing an incredible level of detail and dedication and craftsmanship and creativity. And this guy was making things out of cereal boxes and totally random things in the house, but he came out with this finished piece of a Godzilla costume that looked like something you'd see almost at sort of CGI in a film in terms of level of quality and detail. And everyone was really engaged in the comments, and there was a lot of likes and a lot of sharing and a lot of people going, wow, that's insane, and lots of memes and things, and it was generating a lot of interest. And I found myself really getting sucked in, and I was sitting there for about 20 minutes looking through all these images of this guy. He'd really all out to create something above and beyond what anyone could have expected, including even himself. He was obviously really pushing himself and was really enjoying the process of doing something that would astonish a lot of people and be seen. And obviously he was doing it from his heart. It was a passion project, and you could tell he was really getting into it. And it got me thinking, and I included one of the comments in the thread. And by the way, I'm going to see if I can find the Facebook thread or the viral post and share it below. But I thought to myself, everyone should at least at one point in their lives create something like this. Not necessarily a Godzilla costume, but something where you really go all out and put everything into, whether it be a side project or a main thing, some passion project, some creative endeavor, some adventure, maybe something that takes a little bit of extra, above average, more than usual creativity, time, energy, dedication, passion. And you can think of it as a sort of a beacon of light that will bring people to you. So maybe you're finding yourself, like me in many cases, just going through the motions of, maybe you're working hard, maybe you're being very productive like I am, but you're doing a lot and you're unable to pour your heart and soul and energy into something specific, and you find yourself creating a lot, high productivity, but you're unable to put a lot into individual pieces of what your output is, or your work day, or your general output. So you're creating kind of decent stuff, but there's nothing in particular that you've been working on recently that is absolutely mind-blowingly outstanding. And I always make a point of putting my all into everything I do, and I try and astonish the clients I work with, and I try and over-deliver on everything that I do. But what I'm talking about is going above and beyond the above and beyond. And doing this, you know, obviously as often as we can in our lives, but if we could just introduce one amazing project or one amazing adventure or one incredible creative output that takes a lot more than it normally does for your already high quality material, what could that do for you? What could that possibly bring into your life? But more than anything else, of course, what is it going to do for your own sense of aliveness, your own passion? And then think of all the other rewards this kind of thing could do. So this guy's might have never been particularly well known, or no one really thought much of him before he did this. I don't know much of his background, but now through that one project that may have taken a few weeks, but it's still only an eye blink of his life overall, he's really made an impact there, and he's going to be remembered for a long time for that project. So what could that do for your life? Just by understanding that, just by thinking of that. Perhaps you have a book that you have been thinking about writing, and maybe you can make that your unbelievable, over-the-top, astonishing passion piece that you could work on maybe, you know, evenings or just before you go to work, something that you can spend an hour on every day that becomes maybe over a year or two something really incredible. And you could use that as a huge source of interest that will bring other people to you, that will demonstrate your skill. It'll demonstrate how far you can go and how what your ceiling might look like at present, and give people an idea of how amazing you can make things when you really dedicate yourself to it. And I've spoken about this before. You're effectively creating a beacon of light that brings people in. And then when they're in your sphere, then they're going to find out a lot more about you and be, follow you and do other things that you want people to do when you're trying to be seen. And I think a lot of us put a lot of energy into low level, from mediocre to good projects over and over again, and they get upset with themselves on why things aren't happening, why they aren't seeing engagement. And the 300 rule still holds strong here, and I always talk about the importance of not expecting any traction and any engagement until you've put out at least 300 pieces of work. But the key part of that is that you want to be improving incrementally each time. But what if you were to set aside some time for a beacon project, for something really outstanding, and make it fun? Don't obviously endeavor to do something that doesn't bring you much joy. Do something that you've always wanted to do and really, really put everything into it. And you can do many of these. You can do one of these a year, or you could spend a substantial chunk of your free time doing this once in a lifetime. So what would a once in a lifetime project look like for you if you really took stock of the fact that, not to sound too bleak, but time is running out for all of us, and perhaps it's a good thing to really dig deep into the resources of your creativity and your passion and your interests. And maybe it's going to be so powerful a project and so enlivening and so enriching a thing to do that it might filter into all other aspects of your life and lift you up in everything, and make you help you see yourself in a new light that brings you a whole new level of confidence, a whole new level of experience. I really think it's a good thing to do, and I'm admittedly not currently, well, there is a book in the works, and but I'm having seen this project, I am really thinking hard about how I could bring a very high level project into the world, something that takes a bit more sort of soul searching, a bit of, and just really sort of pouring out my love for something specific, whilst also considering what it is that people would love to see as well. So it's a bit of both. It's about your own passion, and it's about doing things not necessarily to impress, but something that will astonish, and something that will possibly inspire and change someone else's life. So think about what you could do that could be a really, really outstanding project, a one-off, and then maybe you want to do that over and over again, and maybe that will bring a huge amount of value into your life. So hopefully that helped, guys. I'm going to leave you with a nice view of Tbilisi. This is one half of Tbilisi in the background there. And yeah, do subscribe if you enjoyed this and you want to hear more like this. Always happy to hear of a like from you guys. And yeah, over and out. See you next time. Good luck.